Well, greetings, mind crafters, and welcome to another exciting discussion on this glorious day, another exciting Mindcraft discussion on this glorious day. It is early December, and it looks that way. You know, we got some snow, and then we got some rain. The pond was doing its pond thing, freezing over, and now it's kind of mild today, I guess is the best way to say it. Rumor is snow's coming, though. Anyway, my name is Kimberly Quinn, and little Giovanni's here somewhere. There he is. G, come here and say hi. Giovanni. Never mind. Okay, so he's headed up the trail here. So what I wanted to talk about today is the whole concept, especially with the holidays coming, but anytime, any month out of the 12, this is a good thing to talk about because the idea of paying yourself first, and typically when we talk about paying ourselves first, it's used in sort of a financial context, which is also good. And the whole idea with that is to, when we get our paychecks, to take something right off the top before we pay any bills. We pay ourselves first. I think it was Susie Orman used to talk about that. I think that was her name on Oprah. That's where I first heard that. It was like literally 30 years ago. But anyway, my bestie Oprah, I love her. She just doesn't know we're such great friends. But anyway, the whole idea of paying yourself first financially is a really good one because in the end, you can, take something off the top and, keep putting it in savings, save it, builds. And after you get used to doing so, you don't miss it because it's a habit, right? Well, it's not different with our daily well-being and life satisfaction. We're talking about our life minutes, right? That are so incredibly valuable. We can't even really smack a label on how valuable they are because it's our life. So paying yourself in a well-being sense, in a life satisfaction sense, a happiness sense isn't different because just like with money, we cannot give what we do not have, right? So unless we're taking it off the top and throwing it in savings, we can't give what we do not have. We can't buy stuff if there's no money in the bank account. Well, it's not different with well-being. We can't give, our love. We can't get kindness. We can't help somebody out with self-confidence if we don't have it ourselves. All that sort of stuff. And to have the energy and all that inside us be able to give to anybody else. So it's very, very important to keep ourselves filled up. And I think one of the main things that prevents people from doing so is the ridiculous stigma, emphasis on ridiculous, stigma that it's selfish to keep ourselves filled up. And I guess you could maybe split it up into good selfish and bad selfish. Bad selfish is only thinking about ourselves and sort of at the expense of other people. Might be, because I'm a big fan of calling in well, and maybe, taking a day to dip out and go skiing or spend time with somebody you love or something like that. But an example of that is, but to do that, let's say, you've got a really big project that day. That's, it's a team thing, and leaving 4 other people hanging. That's a bad selfish, right? Because 4 other people have to do double time to make up. Unless, of course, you're sick. That's not the same thing. But we're talking about intention. So intentionally, causing other people distress, that kind of selfish is bad, obviously. A good kind of selfish is to take care of ourselves and to really, really migrate towards what makes us feel good each day, because I think a lot of people don't maybe understand that, like, when you focus on what makes you feel good, authentically, obviously, we're not talking about mood-altering chemicals, authentically feel good. Example, me being in the woods. It makes me feel great. I'm just lighter than air right now. And I love doing podcasts and videos. But when you gravitate towards what authentically makes you feel good, the rest all falls into place. So it comes back to, really, you cannot give what you do not have. And when you do keep yourself filled up, you've got you've got the world by the ass. And you just feel good yourself, and that your cup's overflowing. So what Oprah has said in the past is that, picture the cup, picture like a huge, goblet. Keep that filled up, and what's in the cup is for you, and what is overflowing out of it is for everybody else. And we want to keep it that way, fill, and then spills out, and that's what's for everybody else. In this way, and actually, there's nothing better any of us can do for the world than that. Because, again, we can't give what we don't have. When we're filled up, we've got everything to give. Everything to give. We're we're kind of riding that high flying disc, living our life to the fullest, and we've got everything to give. And so, so one tip I have for this, in addition to just creating, like a little life minute budget, I've talked about that a lot, but every day, every single day, do something that makes your heart sing. Even if it's for 5 minutes, you can spend 5 minutes in the bathroom. Think about it. I was just having a talk with my Minecrafters yesterday because finals are coming soon, week after next. And as a professor, I make sure I'm role modeling. Of course, I want you to study. I want you to do your best. Really, I want you to do your very best. And in reality, you are more than a grade. You are more than a grade. So we set the bar to do our best. And also, I told them that how important it is to take breaks. And I do want them to study, and I do want them to write their best papers and do their best on their projects and all these sorts of things. And that said, to remember that their life minutes on this day are important too. You don't want to live for next week ever for whatever reason. You want to live now. Live now. Do your best, and next week will unfold. The way the best that it can. Things tend to happen that way, right? But then I know obviously during finals week there's not a lot of free time, but there's some that you can create it. And so I talked to them about creating, even if it's 15 minutes. 15 minutes is better than no minutes. So put that into seasoned adult world, out in the professional world. Same thing. If you've got 95 projects and you've got kids and you got this and you're trying to close on a house, you're trying to buy a new house, you're trying to whatever that is going on, and you've got issues with aging parents or whatever it is. Life is going to continue to present contrast. That's how it works, because without contrast we don't grow. Without personal growth, there is no happiness. So that stuff's going to keep going. And as Jon Kabat-Zinn says, with meaning, thoughts, right? It's all going to keep flowing. So just like the waves on the ocean. So since we can't stop the waves on the ocean, it's a sort of better idea to learn to surf. Well, it's the same kind of thing. So life's going to continue to present contrasts. Therefore, we have to create time for ourselves. Time, we got to, carve out some of those life minutes for 100% for us. It's just pretend like it's like you've got a toothache, a bad toothache. If you've ever had one, you might have had 100 things to do between work, school, kids, partners, parents, whatever. And if you've got an abscessed tooth, you're going to get yourself to the dentist, and the world will continue to spin. And this is how it is. You just figure it out. Well, it's the same with filling yourself up. You've got to create that time, or schedule it like a haircut, And if you're if you use a Google Calendar, I've been doing this forever. You block out a couple things, meetings, and it's all honest. It's all honest because you're having a meeting with yourself or with God or both or whatever. Just got to carve that time out, or lunch or something, so you can't get meeting bombed. Because that's what happens if you don't block out time on that Google Calendar. And all right, so there we go. So boundaries, and okay. And then the other thing I wanted to say was another tip for paying yourself first is to create. Speaking of Google Calendars, is to create a not to do list. Create a not to do list, because we run around, especially in the USA, and I love my country very much, and we run around like gerbils on crack. Just filling ourselves up with busyness. Because I think we're so conditioned. I do think that the coronavirus made some changes with that, but still, I think it's still there. And so here's the thing, is create a not to-do list, because we tend to be so focused on get it done. And Loretta LaRoche, one of my favorite comedians, used to say, she used to talk about growing up in Brooklyn, and her mom used to say, you got to get this done. You got to get it all done, because, and she's saying in her head, because somebody you don't know might stop by and check the things you haven't done, like cleaning the bathroom, making your bed, whatever work stuff you have to do. I mean, it's so true. Who's they? Who's they anyway? Who knows? So there's got to be something, no matter who you are, no matter how busy your schedule is, no matter what your title, no matter what you do, how many kids you have, whatever, you can carve out 5 minutes, 10 minutes, out of your day for yourself. And actually, Tony Robbins says it. If you don't, I think it's actually, why do I think it was 17 minutes for some reason? It doesn't matter. We'll just say 10. If you don't have 10 minutes to call your own, you don't have a life. You might want to really reevaluate that, because 10 minutes, again, you could spend that in the bathroom. And so it's super important to take some time out for yourself each day that belongs only to you, even if you have to hide in the bathroom, actually, and just do something that makes your heart sing, because when we keep ourselves filled up, once again, it's the best gift we can give ourselves and the world, because we've got it all to give, is also that when we migrate, move towards what feels good, what genuinely makes us feel good, the rest all falls into place. So there you go. Keep yourselves filled up, especially during the holidays. It gets challenging. But all 12 months of the year, keep yourselves filled up each and every day. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off, a little Giovanni at the Notch in Northern Vermont. Have a mindful, very filled up day.